Hello there, Rare. We have a brand new snapshot for 1.17. This is 21W06A, and you can see we have the new caves. These things are massive. And remember to join our Testing with the Viewers live stream right after you finish this video. The server IP can be found on my Discord. The first big change is that they increased the world height of Minecraft. Now it goes from -64 to 320 high. You can see the diamonds are right there. Those are actually at wide level about -8. And as we go down, we can go all the way down to -64. Here is our Y level. This means caves are massive, being up to 64 blocks deeper now. So here's where the bedrock is at, -64. And going below this actually doesn't give you damage like it used to. So now we're above the world. This is typically where the world used to end. And now you can see we get 64 more blocks. And now this is the highest you can build. This is a really cool change. And I actually predicted that they would lower down the Y level as well as raise it, because it makes sense with the cave update. You want to make cooler caves, meaning you need more room, and cliffs and mountains, you need to have it higher as well. But look how just insane these caves are. You can see they are just crazy deep. Now this is only the beginning of what they're going to do for the cave update. We got two main features for the caves, which is noise caves and aquifers. Now, noise caves is everything you see here is a more natural generation of the cave and can have its own unique variants. Now, of the noise caves, you can kind of find two different types. One is called cheese caves, and it's like holes of Swiss cheese. These can form caves of various sizes. The other type is the spaghetti caves, which are the long squiggly tunnels. You can see a few of them right here. Now, the old type of cave generation still can be found. This includes the canyons and can combine with the noise caves to create some very interesting cave systems. And the noise caves can also create entrances if they intersect with the surface of the world. Now for the aquifers, there are areas of local water level independent of the sea level. And aquifers are used in the world generation to generate large bodies of water inside of the noise caves. Now currently aquifers only will generate at Y level 31 or lower, but there is still flooded caves which can generate higher up. This does mean that they have removed underwater cave carvers as well as underwater canyons, since aquifers will now be used to generate water inside of caves. They also changed the mineshaft generation so it will take advantage of the larger caves and areas that they can generate in. This means we should be able to see structures all the way down to the very bottom of the world, which is now -64. And here's a mineshaft that is way down at almost the very bottom of the world. And actually this part of it goes right through the bedrock, which is pretty crazy. They also changed the mineshaft generation. So if a chunk of the mineshaft is completely floating, it won't just generate in, so it'll be an empty spot. They also added in oak wood as supports in areas where they need it. This way it doesn't look so weird for a mineshaft just to be completely unsupported. This includes having no floating cobwebs. Now this is only the start to the cave, so we'll be adding in more variations, and this is only a snapshot, so they will be tweaking what we see here. Because of this, you're not able to open up old worlds in this snapshot. This is mostly due because of the height changes, but eventually it should come up a way where we can convert our old world into the new generation. Now the nether and the end dimension still have their world generation stopping at 0, and you still can't place blocks lower than this or higher than the world limits. So here's a great image by Henrik that shows the difference between the old on the left and the new on the right. Underground is typically 64 blocks in the old one, where the new one is double that, being 128. We can also see some of the new generations, like these three caves right here are considered the noise caves. You can see some of the old generation right here. There's also the aquifers, which are the body of waters, that are unrelated to the sea level. Here's the temporary filling of all caves above Y level 32 that are the noise ones. This is something they're going to change, that's why it's in red. They also haven't added the underground biome set, so it's still on their to-do list. The ores below Y level 0 are just temporary, so they're going to change up how they generate in. Maybe we'll see all the ores shift down lower, but they did mention that they want to kind of redo the way ores generate to make it feel more like veins. And they also mentioned that the underground lava doesn't generate properly yet. A lot of this does play into the warden mob, which we know is coming in with the cave update. So it's very possible that the warden will only be found below Y level 0 and have its own little unique biome down here. Now this will most likely have effect on mob spawning. As the less blocks there is in the world, the faster they spawn in. So typically around Y level 0, you can get some pretty fast mob farms. But now with -64, if we remove all these blocks, we should be able to get even faster spawns. Otherwise, the game does have to check through more subchunks from all the way -64 to 320 Y. So I'll be curious to see if they tweak mob spawning because of these changes. One of the biggest reasons why they didn't do this before in Minecraft is they had to take into account stuff like the lighting engine, which could cause a lot of lag when calculating skylight accessing way down this low. Another thing is just having so much stuff in a single vertical chunk, because the game kind of does work on doing stuff every chunk that it's loaded. Where there is mods that load chunks not only horizontally, but also vertically differently. So maybe the players on the surface wouldn't be loading chunks that are way down at the bottom of the world until he gets closer. The whole reason behind this is so that the game doesn't have to process as many things going on, and instead just kind of lets stuff run around the player and changes that depending on where the player moves to. This also brings up the question, what will happen to the old worlds? They probably will just leave them like this, I would think. So any perimeters that we made here that we have dug out and the bedrock removed, it's possible that we'll get all this that's already removed of blocks, and we can just end up building farms here in the newer version once they make it so you can update your old worlds to the new generation. Because typically their rule of thumb is like they don't want to touch old chunks. So they don't want to change anything about this. So however it is, it's going to be that way. But with the potentially new way that mobs spawn in, it will be affecting the old perimeters that are made. So I'd love to hear what you guys think about these changes and potential ways that they could improve upon the world generation, as the developers are looking for a lot of feedback. Now they also made a change to the big drip leaf. You can no longer crouch on it to prevent it from tipping you off. They also made it so you can no longer just repeatedly jump to stop from getting dumped. But you can stop it from dumping players just by powering the drip leaf. So now it will no longer dump anything off. They also changed it so arrows will no longer break it. Instead, they will just make it dump them. It reacts really fast. But if you power this, the only thing that will make it tip is also arrows. So now no projectiles will end up breaking it. They fixed this bug from the previous snapshot that I showed with the small drip leaf being able to destroy blocks above it when it grows up. If you want to break bedrock, you have to do it in the previous snapshot where it still works. Now come join us on our snapshot testing live stream over at my Twitch, link down below. And you can find the IP on my Discord. And don't forget to leave a like on the video as well as share with others. I'll see all you guys on my server. Bye-bye.